Thursday was the Winter Solstice. Who lit candles? Anybody? Anybody get excited? Okay. Woo! Solstice! I'm working on you. But it's hard. That practice of noticing the shrinking and the swelling of daylight and darkness. It's very hard for us to do up close because it's so subtle. It's just a few extra seconds. All right. The shift is so gradual that we just go ahead and we just mark the big ones. When the day and night are equal, we recognize the equinox, right? You do, right? You recognize the equinox. Okay. Yep. I knew something was coming up on me. Okay. We recognize the equinox, vernal and autumnal. And then when the night is stretched out or the day is stretched out to the longest and shortest moments, we celebrate. And the rest of the days just have to fill in. Daylight ebbing as darkness wraps itself around us. Slowly. Farther north from us up here, the solstice is way more profound because the darkness is there when you wake up, and it's there when you head to work, and it's there waiting for you as you head home. The darkness is just pressing on you. 4:30 in the afternoon, and you're just already seeing the light turn soft. The sun just skims low across the horizon and barely warms the air as it passes by. The darkness is a constant pressure. And some people sadden under the weight. Seasonal affective disorder is the clinical term. It's insufficient photons on our eyes and our skin. Here in Texas, it's not quite so severe. Okay? Living in Central Texas for over 30 years, I came to recognize the signs of solstice, the slanting sunlight, the occasional puff of cold air. And then what became, I saw it finally, the stillness of the natural world. Even as climate change warmed and altered the weather, the light told the animals, told us that it was winter, it was solstice. And so I would respond by baking cookies and get the fire pit ready and the wood piled nearby, and the furniture was pushed back to make room for dancing, and winter solstice meant that there would be a party with bright lights and lively music and the bonfire crackling and too much food and too many people. What we were celebrating was relief from the oppressive heat and humidity of 9 months. We threw ourselves into the darkness and celebrated cool weather. Yes! But that was 500 miles south from here. This is my first solstice on the high plains, and I'm still trying to figure out what it looks like. I'm not sure what to look for. I'm not quite sure what I need to learn from it now. So far, it looks like geese flying in formation, and sunset when I just start dinner, and total darkness by the time we're done eating. This is paying attention, this is noticing, because humans have always paid attention to this wobbly way that the world divides up its seasons, and we celebrate according to our culture and the implications of the light. In the Middle East, it's a time for fruit and family. The recently harvested olives are crushed for oil, and the foods are rich from the frying, and a Persian people make an effort to go visit their grandparents, and they eat nuts and pomegranates, and they celebrate the triumph of light over dark. Some stay up all night to witness the birth of the sun god, Mithra. Want to know where the Christians got that tradition? In snowy northern climates, fires are lit to ward off the dark spirits. And greenery is hung in their homes to remind people that life will return in the spring. So humans, we meet nature's extreme with our own extreme. We lavish upon our table. We welcome our guests. We spend too much. We eat too much. And we dance too much. And why? For some of us, it's because we know that the worst is yet to come. Yes, I know that now we're going to begin that slow tilt back towards the sun, and each day the light will last a little bit longer. But I know that the cold has its grip upon our hemisphere, and it will not let go easily. It might be getting brighter, but it's also going to get colder for a while. We're heading into a dangerous time, a time of barren fields and icy roads and respiratory viruses and winds that find that one crack of exposed skin between all the layers of clothing. Faced with this impending discomfort and danger, the first impulse is to shrink inwards. Lay in supplies. Don't answer the door. Hunker down. That would be sensible. Burrow in deep and wait for things to improve before resurfacing. But the ancient ones knew that fear of the dark only makes it worse. So they set fires, they spent down precious reserves, meeting the dark with light, the scarcity with plenty, and the stillness with a raucous noise. And afterwards, a little singed, a little spent, they would settle down into winter, like the animals we are. But now, we're a little out of whack. Our fear of darkness has grown so exaggerated that we have screens lit up all the time. It's as if we're trying to avoid or deny or suppress the darkness. We resist it so thoroughly now that it's hard to see the stars at night, and our sleep cycles are all askew. We rush to fill in any empty places with fluffy things, and we've forgotten how to be hungry, even for one day. When was the last time you heard silence, with no background hum of a motor keeping you warm and fed? At night, in addition to the streetlights outside, our house has all these green and red glowing beacons to guide us to the oven and the microwave and the modem and the stove and even the dishwasher. Why do I need to find the dishwasher in the dark? How will my eyes ever adjust to that faint flicker of the stars? How will I ever feel that washing light of the moon? As I said, I'm still learning the wobble of the seasons here. I have so much to learn about the soil and the creatures and the light. But here's what I'm hoping to learn. I might ask you to point out the important bits. I'm going to pay attention, and I hope to become able to recognize the exact angle of the sun, Know which trees are still holding their leaves to rattle in the wind, and listen to the sound of the grass in December. All of that will come with time, but this is my work, the noticing, the deep listening to darkness. For those of you who have been here forever, who are fully accustomed to its place and its cycle of light, will you join me? I invite you to look again at both the dark and the light of this place. Those astonishingly glowing sunrises and those extravagant sunsets, those are our daily wages for living up here. But so is that deep richness of our winter's night, both on the crisply cold nights and on those that are softened with blankets of clouds. Now that it is winter, go out. Allow yourself to shiver in the majesty of our darkness. Shut off all of the lights and fall into the completeness of the beauty that is our winter sky. And then follow the wisdom of our ancestors. Light a candle, eat something rich, sing a song, and dance. May it be so.